This is Clofton Peak Rudge.
And this is What You Say, Jay. We are so excited to be back for part 2 of what we saw a little preview of yesterday.
Yeah, last evening. So we are back for the final bout of Battle on the Bank 15.
Now I know that this was this the final 2 teams in last year's battle as well?
Yes.
Because I know it was 2 years ago.
Yes, this has been, I believe this has been 2 years running now.
Yes.
So this will be the 3rd year in a row. If you are new to following Bank Track Derby, Los Angeles was the top of the mountain for many, many, many years.
Yes.
I believe San Diego won battles 1 and 2 or something like that, if I have the history right.
Yes, I think that's how I was looking at the
trophy.
You want the trophy is over there.
Yeah, exactly. Look at our history.
And you can see, there's San Diego was on there a couple times in the beginning, and then it's a long list of AZDD.
String of LA winning many, many years in there. Battle 10 was 2017. This is Battle 15, and it's 2026, so there was a gap in there.
Yes.
But
for the past 2 years, 3 years at least, 2 years at least, Arizona has taken it.
Arizona has been on top, so we shall see if that continues today. Time to Derby is about to hit 4 minutes. I am excited. Don't forget to support your junior league roller derby. No matter what league you are involved in, there's probably juniors to support and follow. Juniors leagues is usually skaters 10 to 17. That's what our junior league is. I'm pretty sure that's probably a standard. And that is so fundamental. Like all the skaters that I talk to, we have a lot of skaters that announce with me in our league, and they always to a skater talk about how when we say it gives you skills far beyond what you would learn in roller derby. That's really like they say that's not just lip service. Like it really does.
No, 100%.
Yeah, and so just it's worth mentioning. I was mentioning that because LA's junior team right now was really, really strong. And
I was gonna say it is such a unique thing, obviously, for the kids as individuals. It's a unique asset for them at the time. It also really changes the landscape of adult derby as well, to have these really strong juniors and to know, oh Lord, they coming in the next couple of years. For instance, like you were just saying, LA's juniors team is unbelievable, and as soon as they age up into that adult league, it's going to fundamentally change adult derby in LA.
Yeah, always interesting to see every season as we get into when teams start traveling. Usually after New Year's and tournaments start happening. Always fun to see what's going to happen as the tournament shapes up as we head towards Battle on the Bank each season.
Yeah, I can say the juniors, the aged up juniors thing was had a huge ripple in flat track derby because Santa Cruz had an unbelievable juniors team that all aged up at the same time, and so they actually kind of became their own adult team and just took the track, had their initial seeding games, and obliterated everything in their path, which is just so fun to have that kind of a presence show up in the league.
Yeah, what is this? We have an entire California flag. That's safety checks. We have an entire California flag on the San Diego bench. Are we going to waive that for challenges?
Yeah, one must assume, yeah.
So this is safety checks, and during safety checks, that gives me a great opportunity to bring you, as we love to say at home, the one team we couldn't do this without, and that is your team of RDCL officials. These are your officials selected to work the championship bout. Head referee Hasselblack, game executioner the Kingslayer. Your pack referees are Bender B. Rodriguez and Transylvania. Your jam refs are Bell Bruising and Plunder Woman. Your eyes in the sky are Crazy Lady and Judging Your Sins. Your OPRs are Tiger Bomb and Hawk Blocked. Penalty tracker Maraschino Jerry. Penalty tracker assist Jacked Hart. Penalty box home Savage Patch Kid. Penalty box visitor Rosie the Ripper. On whiteboard is Crybaby Kingpin. Scoreboard is the Canadian. Runner, Stark Raven Mad. Alternate, Scolding Caulfield. And the alternate non-skating is Logic. Those are your RDCL officials working this championship bout. Safety checks have wrapped up.
Which means I think we're just about ready to get into these rollouts. Are we good for rollouts, refs? I know they just called the coaches over.
Yeah, a little discussion going on, so we will be, soon as that discussion, you can see that there squarely in the middle of your Twitch broadcast. I'm glancing down at my screen. So we will get you these intros here as soon as that discussion has wrapped up. Coaches, medics, head referee discussing with everybody.
Refs, are we good to do a rollout? Are we good to do a rollout?
Are we good to do the rollout? We're ready.
All
Yes.
right, everybody's checking in. It sounds like we're ready to go. I will turn the floor over to you, Say to bring us Slam Diego Wildfires.
All right, first up, give it up for the Slam Diego Wildfires. We have number 3.14, Kim Kong. Number 3x3, Valkyr. Number 1011, Rogue Rammer. Number 1256, Snips. Number 1312, Slip Naughty. Number 369, Chicana Heat. Number 37, Salty Siren. Number 4, Malaboomer. Number 43, Jax. Number 62, Allison Thunderland. Number 627, Cataclysmic Kate. Number 7, Slamurai. Number 802, Farrah Fawcett. And number 805, Hetty Lascar. They are coached by Killagroove, Taffy, and J-Rock. Give it up once more for the Slam Diego Wildfires!
Now taking the track from the near bench in the dark navy, it is the Arizona Hotshots. Skating today for Arizona, number 151, Ash Smash'em. Number 1897, Impaler Swift. Number 2187, Princess Leia. Number 22, Mimi Mahler. Number 23, Murder Mittens. Number 25, Nightmare. Number 300, Dolly Spartan. Number 4, Cherry Kiss. Number 666, Strange. Number 68, Juicy Kiltour. Number 925, Evil Twin. Number 95, Lightning the Queen. Co-captain number 6, Tornado Alley. And your captain of the Arizona Hotshots, number 616, Antifa. Coaches on the infield, Troy McClure and Novocaine.
Crowd, how are we feeling about this championship game here in the house? How are we doing out there?
We got plenty of people in the Twitch chat. Rogue Grammar Fan Club says ready to cheer and chat with their tortilla chips and pico de gallo. It's
Very, very San Diegan of
on
her.
brand, very on brand.
And we're ready to go. Our first jammers of the day are going to be Boomer for Slam Diego and Princess Leia for Arizona. And off we go. Slay trying to find that lower, but gets hung up in front of Slamurai. But not hung up enough to stop her from breaking out and pick up first lead of this game for Arizona.
Now the Boomer moves up to face that Arizona four wall, trying to get to the pivot if at all possible. Great block at the back of the pack by Slamurai to route Princess Leia down onto the infield.
Slam Diego reforming nicely in front of Princess Leia. Kier bumping her out on that bottom rail. But she gets back on. Ooh, almost managing to stay up, but ultimately hitting the infield. Let's see how we did. It does look like the scoreboard on the other side is not connected at the moment, but ours up here is. So that was 5 points for Arizona on that first jam.
The scoring is underway. I heard Power O.
I feel like if you're Farrah Fawcett, who is the jammer for Slam Diego, you got to take that as a compliment, hearing...
There we are.
Oh, looks like... Oh, that was the Power O, meaning it's a power jam.
Yeah, we have
I see. Yes, I see. It looks like Siren and Boomer in the box for Slam Diego.
Yeah, here comes the whiteboard. There we are. We have a stopping on Malibu.
So it's going to be, there's a 4-3 pack advantage for Arizona, and this is a power jam.
Yep. Earliest you can have a power jam, the second jam of the game. Dolly Spartan is out for Arizona. So we look at the pack. The Slam Diego defenders are trying to get together. That pivots at the back. You can see that Arizona strategy springing into action. Every power jam they always send one blocker forward to try to disrupt that front wall. Now Slam Diego is just going to unite at the back of the pack. They say you want to goad us, fine. Slam Diego all come together at the back of the pack. That time able to slow up that scoring pass slightly. Ten seconds left on the jam. Dolly that time weaves through. Great spacing by the Arizona Power offense that time to let Dolly Spartan get through the pack. And the clock expires. A multiplayer block on Antifa. Directional block on one skater for Slam Diego.
15 points on that last one for Arizona. So the score now is 20-0. That is now Farrah Fawcett up on the jam line for Slam Diego, up against Tornado Alley for Arizona. Oof.
Farrell grabs that star right off and is sliding up and down that wall of Arizona defenders. Trying to find an opening. Tornado Alley along the inside coping gets out for Arizona.
Farrell's got one more, two more blockers together. They're reforming a little bit in the front. Alley back in the pack and picking up points, but Slam Diego really trying to prevent her from completing this first scoring pass. And Farrell is out. Slam Diego going to be trying to stop Alley long enough.
Yeah, great blocking again on the back of the pack by Slamurai. Words that have been uttered at many a Battle on the Bank tournament. Great blocking by Slamurai.
Yes,
I feel like that's echoed through many an expo hall.
Yes. But unfortunately, in the process, did pick up a blocking out of bounds penalty, so Slamurai is going to be in the box. That is the Rogue Rammer on the jam line for Slam Diego, up against Strange from Arizona. Strange immediately to the front of the pack. Ooh, hard hit, taking both Strange and Jax down, but ultimately Strange did manage to pop right back up and break out pickup lead for Arizona.
Yeah, really great. I mean, Jax really laying it all out there for that block and then was able to slow Strange down and slow up that exiting the pack process. Looks like the back scoreboard has rejoined us. Woo! Strange along the inside, runs out of room. Jax again with the good blocking down there in the pack.
It looks like, we did have a star pass from Rogue to Jax. Unfortunately, Jax also stuck in the pack, but really just brute forcing her way through that front wall successfully.
Drove that wall forward and broke through the arm link. Strange looking around and calls it off. Arizona's jammers have been getting out, but Slam Diego has been defending well on the scoring passes. I have noticed that so far in the early going. Slam Diego is really keyed often by Slamurai at the back of the pack, is defending very well on those scoring passes outside of the one big power jam that we had, of course. We got one blocker for Slam Diego heading to the penalty box. That is Cherry Kiss for the first time for Arizona on the jammer line. Your Slam Diego jammer also for the first time, Allison Thunderland. Cherry Kiss is out at the front of the pack.
Cherry Kiss coming back around. Slamurai managing to get in the way at the last second, but Cherry Kiss took it, stayed up, and sliced on through.
There's Cherry Kiss now on another scoring pass. Gets the pivot up there to help. Eventually gets those blockers driven out of play and goes on by. Alice at the back of the pack, still with the star in hand, is now going to square up to help form a 3-wall against Cherry Kiss. Cherry manages to drive between two blockers. The clock expires before Cherry can get to the last one.
That was 14 points for Cherry Kiss and Arizona. And we have Boomer and Dolly Spartan on the jam line. That is a thin pack on the track, though. I see 2 in the box for Slam Diego, 1 in the box for Arizona.
Yeah, very small pack.
Yeah, so that's going to be 3-2 pack advantage. And off they go. Dolly pretty quickly to the front. And breaks out, picks up lead for Arizona. Boomer having a tough time. Oh, I take it back. Hopping over Nightmare in order to also break out of the pack. And the pack is zooming.
Yeah, that small pack has picked up speed. However, Slam Diego blocker tumbles, and that slows things up for Dolly. But Dolly cannot get to the last blocker, has to call it off. Good pursuit by Maliboomer. We've got a timeout coming up, but I see Dolly Spartan sitting in the penalty box at the moment. It's an OTO, but we'll find out if that changes after the officials discuss. At the moment, halfway through the first quarter, 7:07 to go, 46-0. As this timeout continues, we will mention Get Your Bearings Skate Shop, located in the Seattle area. Get Your Bearings is a woman-owned, full-service roller skate shop serving the roller derby, park, jam, artistic, and recreational skating communities. Whether you're looking for your first pair of skates, upgrading your setup, finding protective gear, or building your dream custom skates, their knowledgeable team is dedicated to helping skaters of all experience levels stay rolling. Please join us in thanking Get Your Bearings Skate Shop for supporting the skaters and the roller derby community.
All right, indeed, that is Dolly Spartan in the penalty box, which means this is a Slam Diego Power Jam, and that is Rogue Rammer on the jam line for California. Already up in the front, just one more to get through, but Arizona is solid about reforming quickly, pushing Rogue back to the back of the pack, but on a second attempt does manage to break through with some really excellent offensive help from Jax. Coming back around, the pack is poised to receive, but she slices through, and that's going to be points on the board for Slam Diego. Still 20 seconds left to go. Plenty of time to work with, especially if you are Rogue Rammer. And there you go. That is another 5, and she is pleased with herself.
Arizona breaks the goad, and they're able to get together at the front of the pack, playing keep away, and that drains the rest of the clock. But that is 10 big points for Rogue Grammar on the Power Jam.
There it is, up on the board. 10 points for Slam Diego. You simply love to see it.
So, Evil Twin for Arizona. This will be Allison Thunderland for the second time for Slam Diego. We've got some penalties trickling in. I've got 2 Slam Diego blockers headed to the box.
1 Arizona blocker in the box, so...
Small pack again.
Yes, we got a 3-2 pack once again. That's Allison Thunderland for Slam Diego and Evil Twin for Arizona. Evil Twin is through, picks up lead.
Allison Thunderland was able to get one of the Arizona blockers on the track, tried to get up to that 2-wall, but got knocked down to the infield. So here comes Twin.
Woo, with a nice hit, nice little booty hit to Kier in the back there. Alice switching to play a little bit of jammer blocking and slow Evil Twin down. Now managing to stay up and break out of the pack as well. Just 10 seconds left.
Able to stay upright along the coping there right in front of us. Beautiful skate work. Had a great vantage point watching those skates clinging to the coping right in front of us. So good work to enforce the call off.
1 in the box for Arizona. And that is Boomer and Tornado Alley on the jam line.
8 points for the Hotshots there in that jam. 4:24 to go in the first quarter. Here's Boomer along the rail, is trying to grind along next to Impaler Swift. Switches to the inside of Swifty. Alley is still dealing. Great 3-wall at the back of the pack by Slam Diego.
Just a lot of lateral movement there from Alley.
And Alley, honestly, Alley got that 3-wall driven into the turn where the track is wider and was able to get by because there was space. I love that track geometry aspect of things when you get into the corner. So Alley does find space along the inside.
Oof. But San Diego lines up ready to take a tough hit from Alley. Successfully slowing her down long enough to allow Boomer to break free of the pack.
Yeah, Boomer absorbing a block from Lightning the Queen, staying upright on the toe blocks backwards and spun back around to go. And absorbing a block from Lightning is hard enough.
Not
really,
easy.
Honestly, and kept her feet and kept going.
Yeah.
Fun to watch. We got a timeout. Let's find out what this timeout tastes like. It's an OTO. And an official timeout, saith the Kingslayer. So the officials are going to take a moment to talk that one over. 3:20 to go in the first quarter. 63-10, Arizona in front. This music is just...
Yeah, I'm a little confused by it. I feel like a fish in an aquarium.
I am ready for some warm milk and a nap.
Yeah, this is not getting me hyped.
I feel like it's like in between 2 tracks, probably.
Yeah.
I don't mean to mock the music that hard, but I'm just like, there. It's fading out now. There we go. It was the outro of 1 track apparently. We can talk to you about more of our sponsors, such as, the Beer Garden is open again today, so you can head on down there if you are over the age of 21, ID up and pop into the Beer Garden. What is available? One of the things we got down there is Georgetown Brewing. Georgetown Brewing is Washington State's largest independent brewery and the maker of beloved local favorites like Manny's Pale Ale and Bodhisattva IPA. Known for brewing high-quality, community-focused craft beer, Georgetown Brewing has become a staple of the Pacific Northwest beer scene while remaining proudly independent and locally owned.
There we go. We got a beat back. We got a beat on the music back. Excellent. I no longer feel like I'm sitting in the lobby waiting for my massage therapist to come out and call me back.
Hello. It's time for your appointment.
Yeah.
Join us in the beige room. Also down in the beer garden, Seattle Cider Company and Two Town Cider. Born in Seattle and crafted in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle Cider Company makes bright, balanced ciders from real Washington apples. Never from concentrate, never overloaded with sugar, just clean, modern cider for beer drinkers, wine drinkers, and everyone in between. It was recently bought by Two Town Cider from Oregon that was founded on the belief that the long history of cider making demands respect and deserves to be done right. Check out both in the beer garden. They got beer, they've got multiple ciders, and 3 kinds of wine. I had a wine last night during the expo bout, and then I cheered too much.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
a little edge on my
You
voice
know what?
because I was
Happens to the
shouting
best
too much.
of
during-
us. It's all
Honestly,
right.
the expo bout was so much fun because there was like the local fans there for the local skaters, and the Florida fans and the Los Angeles fans were going nuts during the expo bout. It was so much fun. Their fans
And
showed
then
out
and they're
like
still out there
crazy.
over there
Yeah.
in the beer garden.
The Florida and Los Angeles fans went crazy anytime any Florida or Los Angeles skater did anything. It was great.
I
I
have to
was
say
eating
this,
up that atmosphere. Loved it.
the biggest value add we've had is having Florida here this year. This is, I think, their first battle on the bank, and they have made such a
Yes.
positive
First one, I know.
impact.
Love it.
Truly just a pleasure. But we are getting back on the track. So this is a Slam Diego Power Jam. That is Rogue Rammer immediately at the front. And through, picking up lead for Slam Diego right away with lots of time to work with. Those 10 points that are currently on the board all belong to Rogue Rammer. We're going to see if she can put some more. And I see that's at least one and some ghost points. So taking a little friendly fire, taking Jax down in the process. But you know what? It happens. And there you go. That's going to be 5 points on the board for Slam Diego. Of course, Arizona is going to play a little game of keep away here. Slam Diego doesn't have anybody caught. And it's going to make it difficult for Rogue to catch up, but we'll see.
Slam Diego's trying their hardest to accordion, making Weird Al proud with this accordion action
Yeah.
in the front straightaway. And whoa!
there you go!
Executed to a T. That is how you accordion. Wow.
I think that's
Beautifully done.
If my eyes did not deceive me, I think that Rogue Rammer just doubled Slam Diego's score. And indeed, that is what happened. That is another 10 points on the board for the Wildfires.
I have seen a lot of bank track roller derby and some flat track derby. I've seen a lot of accordion, and usually it is like a flail. Like usually the accordion does not work. That was gorgeous by Slam Diego.
Let's see what's the damage on the penalty board. I think it's 1 blocker apiece in the box. That's Farrell Fawcett and Princess Leia. Princess Leia breaking out right away for Arizona.
Farrell takes the star off, and it makes her more aerodynamic. Just races through the pack. Is going to slap that star back on, so try to keep this to 1 scoring pass for Slaya. That's what it is.
We got a request from the chat, and next time we have an OTO, we're making a mental note. Next time we have an OTO, we're going to explain accordion.
Yeah, because it'll take a moment.
It takes a second, but we 100%.
Noted. We will let you know. All right, that's Allison Thunderland for Slam Diego. Night Mary for Arizona. Night Mary giving instructions to the blockers. Oh, tried to get through and just ran out of real estate going into the corner. The angle changed and Mary lost her balance. Gets by a blocker on the outside. Now Mary out, and Alice gets out as well. So Mary up to the pack. Just 2 Slam Diego blockers. Arizona had them all nice and rounded up, and Night Mary calls it off. So just the 4 for Night Mary. Good work by Allison Thunderland to force the quick call off. Malaboomer loves to start well back of the jammer line. We've got some jammers that like to do that in our league, too.
Yes.
So that is Malaboomer for Slam Diego. Tornado Alley for Arizona.
The period clock has run out, so this is going to be our last jam of this quarter. Let's see what It does to the score, if anything, because right now the blockers are blocking. They are keeping this pack from moving past the first turn. Pretty tough to do in bang track when you aren't actually allowed to stop completely. But there you go. Boomer is out. Picks up lead for Slam Diego, still with a full 30 seconds to work with. Tornado Alley also out of the pack now, going to be putting the pressure on Boomer. Boomer's got those lobster claws up, ready to get points and call it. And indeed, that is exactly what she does. Definitely a few points on the board there. I see 3 in the air.
Good eyes by the jam ref on the infield, I gotta say,
Yeah.
because Boomer was trying to get the hands up to signal, and one of the Arizona defenders hit her right in the moment. And she barely got her hands up over the eye line. So
yeah. But
great
indeed, that
timing.
was 3 points for Boomer and for Slam Diego, bringing our score headed into this first period break to 71-23. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break. Go ahead and use it to check out those concessions, check out that beer garden, and we will be with you again in just a few minutes.
Be right back. So we are under a minute to go until the second quarter begins. And as we rejoin you, the chat was asking, what is accordion? Okay. So often in a power jam, you'll hear us say the team has a goad or they have somebody at the back. In a power jam, the team that is on offense will try to split it up and have a defender pinned in the back, and then that way they can keep the pack from moving at all. If you can't get a defender pinned at the back of the pack, what Slam Diego was doing there was running the accordion, and that is basically the Slam Diego defenders would stop at the back of the pack, and then the front defenders would have to stop as well. The referees call split pack, and then basically then everybody has to start moving and come together. And the idea is if Slam Diego can do that repeatedly, they can stop the Arizona defenders from running away and basically playing keep away and never stopping to let the Slam Diego jammer catch up. So that is a power jam strategy that you can operate if you're unable to get that defensive wall broken up and get a defender pinned at the back. You can get the front wall to stop by stopping until the referees say split pack, and then everybody has to come back together. That's the accordion. It's also referred to as Slinky Derby by one of the officials. I was confirming my knowledge of exactly what they were calling, but Slinky Derby is another term for it. But essentially, that's your back defenders can basically stop or go very slowly.
Yeah.
You can't stop
Essentially
in tank track. Yeah.
Purposefully splitting the pack and then fixing it right before you get in trouble for it.
And as I mentioned, I mentioned kind of obliquely, it's as the derby that I've seen, it's often a flail. And that is to say that oftentimes, like, it doesn't seem to work well. Like, you'll see teams try to run the accordion, and it's tough to pull off. That was done just right. The back wall was crashing into the front wall right when the jammer got there. That was executed perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, put that one in the Derby Encyclopedia. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
We've got discussion going on now that we're back between the coaches and the head referee, and now discussion with the pack refs and jam refs. So that will continue momentarily, and then we will get back to the game action.
We've got some former Wildfires both in the chat and in the house. I see Ralphie in the chat, and I also see Lala in the stands is out there, over there, yonder. Is not listening to me, but is present. In the Slam Diego blue. So it's always good to have old friends back with us for yet another battle on the banked.
Don't forget, as we are starting the second quarter with halftime approaching, you can pop outside. Johnny Slaw Barbecue is outside. Serves real quick. I mean, he's got all the meat ready to go, basically, and all the sides. So service is very fast. You can grab that easily during halftime and pop back in here to eat that during the second half. That's your food truck option today. We are going to start the second quarter with an Arizona Power Jam, however. This is Dolly Spartan for the Hot Shots.
And off they go. It is a full pack, but it's not going to be full enough to slow Dolly down. Dolly breaks out, establishes lead nice and early. The pack is now way slowed down.
Slam Diego with good strategy at the back of the pack. As long as Arizona's going to try to hold in a goad, they just went ahead and put two of them back there. Now they're going to drive forward. Excellent work by that front defender. That's Kim Kong, number 314, to reunite at the front of the pack. Slam Diego again trying to make sure they have at least two defenders in each place. Dolly Spartan coming around with 18 seconds to go.
Slicing right through the pack, not even slowing down. Really nicely done there. Woo! Just switching from derby to bowling there.
Yeah, big collision. Kim Kong takes it all and hands on the lower back as Kim Kong is headed back to the bench. That was quite the shot from Dolly
you can
Spartan.
actually hear an audible "oh" from the stands.
Yes. So Dolly ends up putting 14 on the board in the Power Jam.
We got one in the box for Arizona, and that is Farrell Fawcett and Cherry Kiss on the jam line. Farrell looking to find that bottom lane, but Arizona was there to stop it. Cherry also looking to find just a little bit of daylight to take advantage of, but ultimately Farrell is the one who jogs along that upper rail, picks up lead for Slam Diego. Cherry now also out of the pack, but Farrell's got a lot of space to work with here.
Slam Diego holds up towards the back of the pack. Now those Arizona defenders are going to take off. Farrell's going to try to just get hips in front of hips and call it off fast.
We'll see if that was the full. That was 2 points for Slam Diego. Slam Diego has now exceeded their score yesterday was 23. So they have now exceeded that score. The score is 85-25 Arizona. But it does look like Farrell may have picked up a... Nope,
Maybe,
I take it back.
Rogue again with the...
No
yeah,
one's
okay,
really
Rogue
sure.
says yes. All right.
Yes, does look like it is going to be a power jam for Arizona. Farrell, and I think that's Kim Kong in the box.
That's Evil Twin for Arizona. Way back. Running start. Tiptoes along on the toe blocks along the coping to get clear and is out on the Arizona Power Jam. Arizona's Power O performed very well in the previous Power Jam, and they're right back on it here. This time the Slam Diego defense able to route Twin down to the inside. Excellent sliding attempt at a block at the front of the pack by Hedy Lascar. Just could not quite seal the deal, and Twin gets through it. This time Hedy Lascar is on the task. Turns, puts the back end out there, and routes Evil Twin fastidiously to the infield.
Yeah.
Twin finishing that scoring pass, but not without taking contact first. Whistle blows just as Twin is getting past that last skater at the back of the pack. So we had a partial third scoring pass. 13 for Arizona is the total on that Power Jam.
And it looks like we are going to have a timeout. Let's see of what variety. It is going to be a team timeout being called by Arizona. Our score right now is 98-25. Hot Shots.
All right, so the Hot Shots are going to take a moment to talk that one over. Do not forget, fans, the after party is at the Route 2 Tap Room. Once the awards ceremony has wrapped up at the conclusion of this bout, head down to Route 2 Tap Room. That is just about a mile and a half away from here. I actually drove past it yesterday while hunting down a gas station. And I saw it, and I said, oh, there it is. And I'm still going to need a nav it to make sure I get to the right place, because everything is trees here. You can't find anything. I think we mentioned this yesterday. Like, there's just trees everywhere. It's, I'm used to just long, flat expanses of sand.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Route 2 Tap Room is the after party. That's where we're going to keep the party going.
And the stands across the way is the during party. If you would like to if you would like your during to be accompanied by an adult beverage, have we got great news for you? Because right over there across the way, all you got to do is show your little ID, get a little wristband, and then you can be enjoying alongside Sunshine City in the stands over there. Exactly. And look at what a good time they're having. Why would you not want to join them over there?
So we have penalties on 2 Arizona blockers and 2 penalties on 1 Slam Diego blocker. Hedy Lascar picked up 2 of the same kind of penalty. And then there's 2 Arizona skaters sitting in the box.
That is, Rowe getting bumped off the infield by Princess Leia right on the pivot. But what a comeback to get thrown off initially and then just jog through and establish lead for Slam Diego. Princess Leia also out of the pack and definitely putting the pressure on Rogue here, but still. And Rogue's going to get some points and call it off. 4 points for Rogue Rammer there and for Slam Diego. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Looks like a pretty full pack, I think. I think we're penalty free.
Penalty free.
That's Strange for Arizona and Alice in Thunderland for San Diego.
Creeping up
But-
on Strange in the back there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Now we had a late penalty coming in, and I have Coach Troy McClure heading over, and we have a challenge. This is going to be an Arizona challenge. We had Princess Leia with a late jammer penalty. We hadn't even heard the penalty yet, and Coach Troy McClure was already headed over to
He's
challenge
ready
it.
to go.
We have the penalty is one I don't see very often. I got to check that code.
It's an illegal block.
Okay, illegal block on
block
Princess
by a
Leia.
jammer is.
Yeah.
Oh, I know exactly what that was. That was because we were just talking about that where
The clip at the beginning.
there was Rogue got bumped off the infield off of the pivot, which I believe may have simply happened too early for it to be.
Yep. And so that
Although
is
it's interesting that it's Arizona that's.
yeah. So
challenging
Arizona,
that.
Arizona challenging the penalty on Sleia. We'll find out.
Oh, I see.
So
I see.
Arizona is saying basically the same thing that you're saying, that they are also thinking that it should have been a legal hit. A space legal, not illegal. A legal hit.
No, I was saying that I didn't realize that the penalty had been given because when that did happen, I was like,
exactly.
oh, I'm not sure you're allowed to do that.
It was not announced immediately.
Immediately, yes,
right,
yeah. It went on the
so-
board late.
Yeah. So that is what we are looking at right now. That jammer penalty on Princess Leia could be a power jam for Slam Diego. We'll find out. 10:19 to go until halftime. At the moment, 98-29.
We got a shout out from
Arizona.
Slammer Eyes number 2 fan, which is I know is Jamie out there in the stands saying the announcers are great today, and thank you so very much.
Thank you.
I happen to agree.
We do our level best. You know what I mean? Try to contextualize what you're watching without getting in the way too terribly much.
All right, so if anybody wanted a Battle on the Bank t-shirt and didn't get the opportunity to order one, if we have 5 more people that want to place an order, we'll have enough to place a t-shirt order. So if you want one and you didn't have the chance to order one ahead of time, you can head over to the merch stand, put your order in now, and if we get 5 more people, it'll be enough for a whole shipment, and we'll be able to get more t-shirts, and you'll get it sent to you after the fact. So if you want to go ahead and head over to that merch stand, they'll explain it better than I did.
That discussion just wrapped up,
Yes, we're going to see
so we'll get word momentarily on that challenge.
what
and
our
we'll find
verdict
out.
is. Yeah.
So we'll bring that to you as soon as we have that information.
I really like Violet Venom in the chat signing. I appreciate you signing the this game is crazy. Signed SCRD. I really appreciate that. It's like when boomers have their signature on every text message.
This is a long penalty explanation. Usually it's pretty much a yes-no thing.
San Diego taking the opportunity to really get hyped up. San Diego and Sunshine City feeding off of each other's energy in a way that I really appreciate. I'm pretty sure that we are only playing unlicensed music, and that's why it all sounds like we're aquarium music. Listen, and it does look like our conclusion to that challenge is that's that. Okay, so interesting. So it was an illegal blocking penalty on Princess Leia was what was being challenged. The challenge, they won their challenge. That penalty is being overturned. Instead, however, Princess Leia is getting a directional blocking penalty, so still going to be a power jam. Princess Leia is still in the box, just in the box for a different reason, and Arizona will retain their challenge for this half.
Yes, I was going to say, quite fascinating. When they gave the referees chance to talk about it, they decided that there was an additional penalty that needed to be called. So, interesting.
All right, so that is Malaboomer skating this power jam for Slam Diego. Arizona doing a solid job of reforming in front of Boomer in the front. Boomer trying to find that lower, but they are ready for it.
That Arizona defense swarms back to the front. Now here comes all the San Diego blockers.
That was a little bit of an accordion, kind of.
Yeah, they were trying to start the accordion, and the Arizona defenders said, we will just stay here, but Boomer gets out. Halfway through the power jam, Boomer's got time to work with.
And the crowd goes wild. The energy in the venue is electric, and there goes that accordion move again. But that is a pretty solid Arizona wall in the front. And Boomer slides around on the lower coping, stays up, picks up 5 for Slam Diego.
What a move along the coping by Malaboomer. That was beautiful. Excellent work by the Arizona wall. And again, if you note, the track is wider in the turns than it is in the straightaway. You saw that four wall get to the apex of the turn, and it gave Malaboomer just enough space to dance along the coping and get clear. Well done. 6 points for Slam Diego.
It was 5.
5
there
points. We go, yeah.
All right, and we're off. That is Allison Thunderland and Tornado Alley. Tornado Alley finding that lower rail nice and open, breaking out. Alice having a little bit of a tougher time behind Cherry and I can't see. Anyway, Alley going for that scoring pass, getting bumped at the last second.
Alley weaves on through. The star has been passed over to Hetty Lascar, who's got it in hand and is trying to find an opening. Alice now to the front of the pack trying to play some defense. Here comes Alley on a scoring pass, and Alice tries to get in there. Alley just had the high ground, basically, and was able to knock Alice down.
Looks like we had a star pass on Slam Diego to Hetty Lascar. Unfortunately, Hetty also now stuck behind this wall. Really nice offensive work by that Arizona pivot there. Impaler Swift just pinning Alice to the top.
That three wall remained focused on that jammer even after the star pass. So that pushes Arizona over 100. That is 116 to 34. It's an 18-point jam for Arizona. Big points for Tornado Alley. And it will be an Arizona power jam as well. That is Nightmare to the jammer line. 2 penalties on Alice in Thunderland, and arms and a directional block. So Nightmare for the power jam for Arizona. Halfway through the second quarter.
I'm getting heckled by by the players.
Yeah, that's rude. We can't do that to them. Hey.
It's road grammar. What do you expect? Anyway, power jam for Arizona.
Great blocking by Slamurai and Rogue Rammer to spin Nightmare off onto the infield. Nightmare's still not out on this power jam again. And, Slamurai tries to get there with a hip, but Nightmare's able to deflect and go on by. So now Rogue Rammer's going to get back up at the back of the pack.
Nice, solid dual work there by Rogue and Jax. Slowing Nightmare down. Ooh, and a beautiful hit by Slamurai.
Nightmare is going to get back up on her feet and really took a drilling that time from Slamurai, and the clock expires with Nightmare back up on the track. Yeah, we had a couple of skaters that time. Rogue Rammer, you see, heading back to the bench, hands on hips, visibly winded. Rogue Rammer took a hit to the infield as well, so a couple of skaters there. really took hard hits in that jam.
Well, maybe she didn't spend the last couple seconds before the whistle yelling at me. She might have been a little more locked in, is all I'm saying. All right, and we're off. We got a battle of the fours over here. That is Cherry Kiss and Malaboomer on the jam line. One in the box for Arizona.
Juicy Kiltor picked up 3 penalties on that jam.
Oof.
So that's nearly half of your U.S. RDA of penalties
Yeah, it's
at one shot.
It's nice to have a full game and have all 7 penalties to work with this time
indeed.
around.
Neither jammer out as we discuss penalty numbers. That Slam Diego 4-wall has been very effective. They've got Cherry up to the high side.
Yeah, meanwhile, Mimi and Princess Leia do not want to let Boomer gain even an inch of ground here. But she almost slid through. I think stepped just barely out at the last second.
Yeah, just slid off to the inside. Cherry Kiss now fights through. Is going to put the star back on for Arizona, but just 6 seconds left on the clock. Boomer almost out. Boomer nearly out, but got clipped and went down and hit the coping with her knee, I think. God, that's a couple of jams where we've had skaters headed back to the bench and not feeling their 100%. Boomer's not putting weight on that left leg at the moment. Went down and went right into the coping when she went down. So we will keep an eye on that as we head towards halftime. There'll be about 4 minutes to go till halftime when this jam starts.
I think I see. Yeah, it looks like 2 in the box for for Arizona, 1 for Slam Diego. So we got an itty bitty baby pack out there, but we do have both jammers, which is always nice.
That's Dolly Spartan for Arizona and Farrell Fawcett for Slam Diego. There we are, underway.
Dolly quickly to the front of the pack. Chakani trying to chase her down, but not getting there. Breaking out. However, Farrell Fawcett also now out of the pack and just about 20, 30 feet behind Dolly. Going to really be putting the pressure on, forcing Dolly to, get points and call. Just 2 points for Arizona on that last one.
So Rogrammer right back out there. Obviously shook off the ill effects of that hit to the infield and back out there to jam.
Oh, ho, ho, look at this. Do my eyes deceive me? That is an empty penalty box.
Arizona sent up Princess Leia, who dances along the inside, gets past Jax, and takes off.
Rogue very much stuck behind that 3-wall in the back there. No longer, however, manages to creep back on and break out.
So Leia calls it off after one scoring pass. I heard that's your jammer. I see Coach Troy McClure approaching with his challenge flag. I heard an arms penalty on Princess Leia, and Troy McClure immediately challenged it. So Troy McClure is going to reuse that challenge he just got back.
Bell, we need points. All right, yeah, so it's going to be a challenge on, that was, you said an arms penalty on Princess Leia.
Arms is what I heard. There it is.
Yes.
Arms penalty on Princess Leia. That's the only thing on the board, so that must be what they're challenging.
the challenge is about.
Yeah.
Because you cannot challenge a no call in Bank Track Derby.
Yeah. Yes. So we have 2:34 to go until halftime, 126-34. Another of our tournament sponsors is Cafe Ladro. Cafe Ladro opened to stores on Upper Queen Anne in 1994. Just a couple of steps away from a coffee giant. Bold move. They accepted the challenge, and the coffee thief was born, stealing hearts and taste buds with better beans, buttery pastries, and friendly baristas. Serving up ethically sourced coffee, warm smiles, and fresh treats that have made them a neighborhood favorite from day one. Cafe Ladro is currently selling a Tilted Thunder S'mores cookie that brings in $1 for each cookie to the league now through the end of June. Cafe Ladro is also the Tilted Thunder's unofficial office where the team gathers after most Saturday practices for committee meetings, admin work, and bonding over coffee and delicious pastries. Cafe Ladro. Challenge discussion is continuing along the back straightaway. Looking forward to the announcement of where Battle on the Bank 16 will be. That news should be coming sometime soon. Not like today. I don't mean, I'm not trying to tease you and saying like
soonish.
at the end of the third quarter. No. I'm saying, but that will be determined at some point.
10 minutes still.
Somewhat soon, right?
Yes.
So looking forward to finding out where that'll be hosted next year.
We know it's going to be one of 3 places since there are 3 bank tracks. Not exactly. No big surprises coming our way. Unless you never know, we could get a big surprise benefactor, in the next couple months.
Right.
An angel investor in roller derby.
So as the discussion continues back there, what's new and exciting with Slam Diego roller derby, huh?
Well, I do actually think that we have some exciting stuff that I'm definitely not allowed to talk about. That I'm waiting to be told I'm allowed to talk about. I'm trying to think about what else is new exciting. This is a lot of the teams. Certainly my first time in Seattle. So I know we've all been enjoying being able to breathe in the not glaring heat that we usually have this time of year.
Yeah, it's it's in the hundreds in Phoenix too, so I'm definitely enjoying the weather myself.
Yes, yeah.
So the challenge has wrapped, and
we're just waiting for the verdict to be communicated to the coaches first, and then to us.
Yes. I'll bring
but
that
I
to you
can't tell
momentarily.
who is the verdict communicator in this situation. I can't quite tell.
We'll find out. We found out from the whiteboard last time.
Yeah.
And we can also probably tell by process of elimination if Slaya heads to the penalty box or
Yeah,
not.
that's also true.
Yeah.
Kingslayer. Okay, so we did just find out that challenge. So Arizona was challenging the arms penalty on
There it is.
Princess Leia, and that challenge is going to be upheld, which is why we can see Princess Leia did return to the box. So it is going to be a power jam for Slam Diego.
All
and
right.
that is Allison Thunderland headed for the jam line.
Full pack otherwise. 4 blockers for each team is what we are facing.
And off we go. Kim Kong tried to clear a path there.
Did
Clear a path, but Arizona reformed.
Yeah, I saw the eye contact with Kim Kong and Allison Thunderland. No words, no gestures, literally just an eye contact at the beginning. Alice trying to find an opening, zigs past a couple of blockers, now up to that front wall. Here comes the Slam Diego pivot trying to help as well.
Arizona just doing a really good job of just constantly rematerializing in front of the jammer.
Yeah, Alice was trying to drive those blockers out of play and just could not get there, really, honestly.
Slam Diego does sort of have Strange as a goat, and we have a successful start pass to Hedy Lascar to break them out of that pack, but there is only 5 seconds left on the clock, so a little tough. Oh, actually, there we go. That's going to be at least 2 points there.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got one in the ghost at the back of the pack. We'll check from the infield to make that official.
Yep, that is indeed going to be 2 points for Slam Diego.
We will have about 1:15 to go until halftime when this jam starts. That's Rogue Rammer once again for Slam Diego.
Up against Tornado Alley for Arizona. 1 in the box for Slam Diego. So 4 3-pack advantage for Arizona. And off we go. Alley headed through that upper rail. Gets stopped by Slipknotty and Hedy on the top.
Rogue tries to spin down to the inside to follow Alley out of the pack, but the Arizona defenders block Rogue. Alley is out and clear for Arizona. Here's Rogue now trying to follow another blocker to the front. Oh, good blocking along the inside. Allie knocked down to the infield.
They really got Rogue stuck in the back there. Jax with a sweep to help Rogue break out with 15 seconds as Allie is coming around picking up another 5 points.
Rogue has to pick up the pace and get back to the pack. Allie was prowling for that jammer point, and Rogue able to stay out of danger and not become another point. That will just be 9 for Arizona as a result. Half clock is going to expire now. So the half-head clock has expired. This is our last jam of the half. That is Allison Thunderland.
No, that is Farrell Fawcett.
Farrell Fawcett. Thank you. There's a lot of blonde skaters on San Diego.
Yeah.
And Dolly Spartan for Arizona.
Farrell tries for the high. Dolly tries for the low. Let's see who's going to get it. It looks like maybe both of them. No. Dolly finds it. Farrell was almost out. Got caught by Nightmare at the last second. Dolly is out and coming back around. So is Farrell, though. Going to be putting the pressure on Dolly. Whew. Dolly takes a tough hit to the infield.
Yeah,
and
Dolly
going to
had
be forced
to hustle.
to call it. Yeah.
Hustle to get to call it off. Yeah, that was great work by Farrell to get past Nightmare. Nightmare really up and down the track doing a great work, and Farrell tiptoed around her to get out and get clear and force the quick call off. So just 2 points for Arizona.
All right, and that does bring us to our halftime. So we are going to take a 15-minute break. Go ahead and check out those concessions. Order a T-shirt. Head to the beer garden, etc., etc., and we will see you back here in just a little bit. Oh, actually, okay, if you, we have our silent auction winners. So if you put in for the silent auction, Matt Friedman, Glenda Rodez, Alex Kennedy, Kathy Schlob, Kelly Rozo, and Haley Murphy, come collect your silent auction winners. Once again, that is Matt Friedman, Glenda Rodez, Alex Kennedy, Kathy Schlob, Kelly Rozo, and Haley Murphy. You have won your silent auction. Come collect your items. It says come collect your items, but they're definitely not at the announcer booth, so yeah, go collect your items from, I guess, wherever you put your merch. Yeah, from the merch stand.
just 1 minute to go until the end of halftime, and then we get back to you with 30 more minutes of Derby action. 30 minutes of Derby action left in the RDCL season. All right, we are just about set to get back to it. Skaters are ready to race up there at the sound of the whistle.
Our score headed into the second half is 137-36. We're starting with a couple folks in the, or maybe just one folk in the box. I see Slamurai. We're going to wait for that whiteboard to tell us if there are any others. I don't think so, though.
No, it does not appear.
Looks like it might just be one blocker in the box for, yes, indeed, one blocker in the box for Slam Diego. So 4-3 pack advantage for Arizona, and that is Farrell Fawcett and Cherry Kiss on the jam line.
Cherry tiptoes along the rail, and then, wow, excellent block by Impaler Swift. Just drives between those two Slam Diego defenders and clears Cherry.
It was just such a graceful juke by Cherry to get around that last couple blockers.
Boomer has taken the star for Slam Diego and is pinned at the back of the pack behind some Arizona defenders.
Oof, you hate to see that. Trying to get around, getting bumped at the bottom by Mimi there as Cherry comes around ready to pick up all 5 of those points.
18 seconds left on the jam. We've still got Malaboomer at the back of the pack.
Yeah, both preventing Boomer from breaking out and kind of holding Boomer as a goat to keep the pack in place so that Cherry can reach and pass them.
All right. So, clock expires on the jam. I heard a That's Your Jammer.
Yes, it does look like I just saw Boomer sit down in the box. So it looks like Boomer picked up a jammer penalty, an arms penalty as the jammer after she had taken the pass.
Yes. So, we have a power jam for Arizona. That was a 15-point jam to confirm, by the way, for Arizona, and it is Strange right here on the jammer line for Arizona. Full pack otherwise. Strange able to take advantage of the pack being staggered and gets out for Arizona.
Coming back around, ready to pick up those points. Little friendly fire there as Strange runs into Lightning, I think.
Strange colliding with their own blocker. That does sap a lot of the momentum, and now they are behind a couple of Slam Diego defenders. Jax is going to ride Strange all the way down to the infield.
Oh yeah, they got Jax Heat and Rogue there. It's a Jeff jam. Jacksonville really solidly holding Strange, but unfortunately Arizona has Hetty as a goat in the back there, so it's going to force them to let Strange go.
Yeah, well defended on the front end by those Slam Diego blockers. And Slam Diego breaks the go. They're going to get together now, or try to at the front of the pack. Nightmare is in there just knocking people down. Gosh.
That was nicely done, breaking the goat out.
Well done. Ends up being just 5 for Arizona on the power jam. Good defense by Slam Diego.
Let's see. I see. Oh, it looks like 2 blockers in the box for Arizona. So this is going to be a 4-2 pack advantage for Slam Diego, and that is Tornado Alley and Alice in Thunderland on the jam line. Ooh.
Alice runs into Lightning McQueen, and Lightning knocks Alice backward. Alley is near the front and gets out. Was able to get past those last 2 blockers for Slam Diego.
Yeah, even with just 2 blockers, Arizona doing such a solid job of just being wherever Alice wants to be. But Alice does break out. Still over 30 seconds left in this jam.
Took advantage of Tornado Alley coming in and briefly distracting the Arizona blockers, so Alice does get out. She's trying to get that star back on, ends up falling in the back straightaway, was not able to get that thing over the helmet. Ends up not being a factor, and the jam is called.
Looks like just 3 points for Arizona on that last one.
Yep. Pursuit by Farrell Fawcett, resulting in the quick call-off by Arizona.
That was Alice on that last one.
Alice, thank you. I keep getting the two of them confused. That is now the second time I've done that, and now in reverse.
Happens to the best of us.
Fascinating.
That's Rogue Rammer and Dolly Spartan. Dolly Spartan breaking out right away, though. Jack's taking a tough hit. Getting back up to play a little offense and try to clear a path for Rogue Rammer. And in fact, that is exactly what she does. Rogue Rammer breaks out, going to force Dolly to call this off. Just one scoring pass into it. And so often that is what it's about. It's about stemming the bleed.
Yeah, definitely. Keeping it to just the one scoring pass. So 4 is the result. I heard Jammer down?
I heard Jammer Farrell.
Jammer Farrell. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, then I heard wrong. You
Yeah.
heard correctly. That is Farrell on the
That
Jammer
is
line.
Farrell, yeah, up against, I think
Princess
that's Princess
Leia.
Leia. Yes.
Yes.
Ooh, an empty penalty box.
Yes.
This is actually, we've had quite a few penalty-free jams, all things considered.
Slea is able to get by that pivot for Slam Diego, kind of went high and then went around to the low side. Farrell's got the star off and is going to play jammer defense along the inside.
Yeah, Princess Leia went for that apex jump, but did not quite manage to land it. Farrell gets back up and breaks out. Once again, going to be putting the pressure on Arizona to call this early.
Slea was pretty sure she got by all the blockers, and she did. That's 4 for Arizona.
Well, well, well. If it isn't Slamurai on the jam line. Slamurai of Battle on the Bank fame. Slamurai has played in every single one of our all 15 battles on the bank. Up against Night Mary, though. Night Mary is this is Night Mary's first battle on the bank as a recent aged up junior. So we have the new versus the veterans here. Both jammers are out, and Night Mary is going to call it off right away. I love a slam jam almost as much as Slam hates a slam jam.
Hey, we also have Night Mary picked up a penalty of some fashion. It was a back block on Night Mary.
Yeah.
So, power jam for Slam Diego and Rogue Rammer.
A Rogue Rammer power jam.
Quickly star off, star stashed, up to those front blockers for Arizona, and ridden off to the infield that first time. Now here comes the Slam Diego blockers trying to create some perturbance in the pack.
Yes, we're once again seeing this is that accordion that we were talking about earlier, where Slam Diego is just going to repeatedly try to kind of slow down and then rush it, and slow down and rush it, much the way that you would operate, you guessed it, an accordion. Rogue having a tough time breaking through this 4-wall, simply because they're going too darn fast.
And Slam Diego had one. They've got one blocker back there at the back of the pack. Now they're going to wall up and hold Ash Smash him. And finally, Malamoomer gets out, but it's all
There
academic.
we go, yeah, with a star pass.
Yeah, star pass. Malamoomer takes over as jammer of record and gets out for all of 2 seconds.
Oop, and I immediately hear Kingslayer with an OTO.
Yes. We got an OTO right now. So 7:08 to go in the third quarter. Halfway through the third quarter. Arizona 169, Slam Diego 36.
We got a lot of Arizona folks in the chat with a lot of playing some inside baseball, which I always love to get some fun facts in here. D-Cup asking, Al Annihilation also in the chat, asking Al how many aged up juniors are on the Hot Shots roster. I would also love to know the answer to this because I know it's quite a few.
Hold on. I can do that. We got...
Yeah, let's see who gets it first.
Let's do the whole tournament roster, honestly.
Yeah.
Because a couple of the skaters that are... So on the whole tournament roster, 1, 2, 3, 4... 5.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, looks like so. Al had Lightning, Cherry, Mimi, Mary, and Mads. Oh yeah, so 5. Yes, yes. You were.
Al did it blind. I did it looking down the roster. Of course, Al was our minors coach, so trained all of these skaters personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had the same thing. I like it. I wasn't looking at the chat. I marked off the 5 same people off of our roster.
Yes, you guys got it. You got it. You both submitted your answers at the exact. If this were bar trivia, you both would have gotten it.
We both would have won bar bucks.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's we had mentioned minors programs, and obviously if you're new to bank track and if you're new to the battle on the bank, there used to be a minors tournament too. There was up until COVID happened.
Yeah.
There was a minors tournament as well. Arizona won it in 2018.
Yeah.
I want to say somebody will correct me, but I think Tilted Thunder won it in 2019. I think maybe they may have. I do not remember, but though somebody in the chat will definitely be able to tell me. Then that was it. Obviously, we didn't have a battle in 2020.
All right, we are just about ready to get back on the track, and we are going to be coming back to a power jam for Slam Diego as Arizona's jammer and 1 blocker are in the box. So we're going to have a 4-3 pack advantage and a power jam for Slam Diego, and that is Captain Allison Thunderland taking the jam line. Okay. I definitely saw that it was a power jam, but now I see 2 jammers on the track. I'm confused. Okay, perhaps something changed. It did change. It's 2 blockers in the box now.
Yes, there we are.
All right, so that's Dolly. Dolly?
Yes, that is Dolly for Arizona.
Spartan.
Alice is out right behind, taking advantage of that small pack. So Alice is going to force the quick call off from Dolly Spartan here. Yeah, long discussion after that OTO, and they ended up adjusting the penalties. So we had 2 Arizona blockers in the box there, as mentioned, the very small pack.
Yeah, in my defense, it was definitely a jammer penalty up until the very last second.
Yeah, then that was redacted and taken off. We've got no penalties on the board right now.
No penalties. A nice, clean game being played here. That is Farrell Fawcett and Tornado Alley on the jam line now. Well, I suppose off the jam line now since the jam has started.
Yep, we've got Farrell near the front. Alley is going to try to find a seam along the outside and negotiates Maliboomer and gets out of the pack.
Man, I love to see a player whose name is just so appropriate, and Tornado Alley truly is like a tornado tearing through that pack. It's
her number
so
is 6
difficult.
because she would be an F6 tornado.
Yeah.
She would be stronger than an F5, so that's why her number is 6.
I am not familiar with the tornado ranking systems.
Yeah. We've got... Now getting out, taking over on the star pass is Maliboomer. Manages to get by Impaler Swift. Got Swifty crossed up, and Swifty took a tumble. Here's Alley to the high side, and wow, good blocking up there on the top of the track by Kim Kong, trying to hold Alley in place.
Yeah, Kim Kong, and then kind of just sort of like, I'll wait till everyone... Oh, no.
So Alley gets 4 of the 5 on that last pass, just 9 total. Nobody in the penalty box again. That's 2 in a row. That's a trend.
Everyone, it's like I said, it's like a dang tea party out there. They're playing so polite. That is Rogue Rammer jamming for Slam Diego. Up against, who that? Is that Murder Mittens?
Murder Mittens for the first time for Arizona, yeah.
For this game. And that is a nice star pass
done
to Hedy Lascar. Well done.
Murder Mittens not out yet. Up to the high side, going to take the star off herself.
This is looking like a really nice points opportunity for Slam Diego.
And a collision at the back of the pack.
That's going to be, I see hips passing hips.
We've got hips passing hips. We've got a star cover that is barely clinging to the helmet down there.
Making me nervous.
Along the inside.
Murder Mittens is now out of the pack, so going to be putting the pressure on 4 points for Slam Diego.
All right.
You can hear Arizona warning each other that it's Slamurai on the jam line.
179-40 is the score at the moment. They are still putting penalties on the board, and they are still discussing it as well.
If this goes on too long, you got to be careful. They'll call an OTO.
Blocking out of bounds on Jax was the point of discussion. And it looks like we are ready to go after that adjustment was handed down. We almost had 3 in a row with no penalties. Very nearly. Slamurai, as you mentioned, Princess Leia underway. Slamurai driving against that Arizona 3 wall. Sleia gets out the front of the pack, gets by Malaboomer to get out.
Slamurai stuck behind Lightning and Mimi, which you want to talk about sentences that have been said at many a battle. Stuck behind Lightning and Mimi also up there.
Also true.
Princess Leia handily picking up those first 5 points.
Slamurai just trying to get the star handed forward to Malaboomer, does, but Boomer gets knocked down immediately to the infield and gets behind that Arizona wall of defenders.
Rough.
The same defenders that were not letting Slamurai out, so they're all going to wall up now and try to stop Princess Leia this time. Excellent block by Slamurai. 4 seconds left on the jam clock. Sleia blocked off again by Slamurai, and the clock expires. So ends up being 14 for Arizona on that jam once it is all said and done.
And that is Allison Thunderland up against Evil Twin. Yes, Evil Twin.
Yes.
Evil Twin getting a little bit stuck. Alice really getting in the thick of it, willing to play some very physical derby there. I mean, you have to when you're up against an Arizona wall like that. Evil Twin does break out, but they did manage to run 30 seconds down off the clock.
Alice gets escorted down to the infield, now with Twin coming in. Alice forces Twin up into the rails, slowing her down, and then she's pinned by that Slam Diego front wall at the front of the pack.
Yeah, it looks like, again, Slam Diego is going to be successful at keeping this down to just that one scoring pass here. 5 points for Slam Diego.
Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
You did get I don't know if you got fact checked and you were correct that TTRD was the winner of the 2019 junior battle. Champs.
Yeah, I believe that they won, and I think it was on home turf, I think. No. 2018 was on home turf. That's right. 2019 was in Houston. 2018 was up here. That's when Arizona won. I was watching that one from home. Yep. So I was going to say, I think that means Tilted Thunder, technically speaking, until we have another juniors bank track tournament. I believe that they're the reigning champions.
They're the reigning champions, yes. We have an OTO. I did hear tell, and this is just rumors and gossip, so don't take this with the grain of salt that it's worth. But I did hear, because Seattle does have a flat track juniors team, but they don't have a bank track juniors team. I have heard that the kids yearn for the bank track. The children yearn for the bank track, and I hear that the potential exists for a Tilted Thunder Junior bank track team to materialize.
That would be thrilling and wonderful, and obviously, like I said, it's sort of like I mentioned a couple of times, like Sunshine City. Here's a golden example. We've got Sunshine City over here. Just the fact that they are here. Just the fact that you're here is a sign of good health in Derby. You know what I mean?
And it has, by the way, fundamentally revolutionized the vibes in the studio today.
Yeah. Expansion is always better than contraction, and so it's sort of like, you know how the WNBA right now is like they're just adding teams like hotcakes?
Yes.
Like that's because the product is good, and it's good to see that Derby is adding teams. That's
I keep saying the bank tracks, it's like lesbian bars in America. You can count them on one hand, but they're coming back, baby.
We're back to it. 1:19 to go until the end of this quarter. Cherry Kiss for Arizona, who is out. Farrell Fawcett for Slam Diego, who has taken off the star and is going to get out also half a track behind Cherry. Cherry Kiss weaves through the pack to finish that scoring pass. Calls it off quickly with Farrell Fawcett closing in. We've got Dolly Spartan for Arizona, Mala Boomer for Slam Diego. What could be the last jam?
Oh, an empty penalty box once again. Look at us. Oh, and that last jam pushed Arizona up over the 200 mark, the CC mark if you're a Roman numerals guy, as I, of course, am.
Dolly ridden down the infield, not clear yet. Boomer
Just trying to hop over Nightmare. Nightmare having absolutely none of it. And Dolly breaks out, picks up lead, but once again, they've managed to run down about 25 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, you can see that Arizona wall, again, just that swarming defense. Every time Boomer manages to get by somebody, there's two people there waiting to meet her, and knocked down again and dumped by the defense. That wasn't Boomer, that was Slammerite. No, Jax, correction.
Yeah.
The quarter clock has expired, by the way, in all of this. 12 seconds left on the jam clock. Just hard fighting action in the pack right now on both sides, and finally, Malaboomer gets out the front of the pack. Does the robot heading down the front straightaway and is going to put on the star.
And that takes us to our last quarter break of the game. Let's see what our point situation is.
It's being discussed.
Well, I'm gonna let you announce that because I gotta get to the beer garden and back in 5 minutes. So.
Okay, I'm on that. You go and do that. Again, points not quite in yet. They're discussing it directly to my left. There we go. 5 for Arizona, 4 for Arizona. 206-40 is your score heading into the quarter break. It has not been officially announced to us, but I would say it is a safe bet that you would need to visit the beer garden probably during this quarter break, because last call has got to be coming soon. So if you are motivated to get yourself one more drink, I would say grab yourself one more drink right during this quarter break. Really? Got it. Okay, last call is coming much later. The beer garden will be open until the end of the awards ceremony, so no rush. But the beer must stay in the beer garden and cannot leave the beer garden. So there we are. They brought it over. Ask and ye shall receive. Basically, when you're announcing roller derby, if you're not sure about something, just say it on the mic because somebody will correct you.
Oh, with a full minute to spare, not to brag, but
So we got a lot of people watching us in the Twitch chat, and I'll pose this question to the Twitch chat as well as to anybody in here in the arena, but favorite moments of the tournament so far, things that you have seen either watching on Twitch or have seen in person. If you've got nominees for favorite things you've seen, you can wander up here and tell us at the booth, and we'll share it with everybody. But also hit us in the Twitch chat and let us know.
yeah, I'd also like to remind everybody in the house that you too can log into the Twitch chat and heckle us from the chat. We're in it, we're reading it.
Ref Boy RD is in here in person and is in the Twitch chat.
Yeah,
So that can be done.
Chicana Heat was actively heckling us from the bench. I can't sing Fireball because then we'll get a trademark copyright kick from.
That's right.
That's not how fair use works.
We will get DMCA'd out of belief.
What's my favorite bird? My favorite bird this weekend was a cedar waxwing. I saw a cedar waxwing this weekend. I'm really excited about it. I've been looking for it for years. All right, we're back. That is Rogue Rammer and Tornado Alley. Tornado Alley pretty quickly through the pack. It is a pretty thin pack out there. I see there's 2 San Diego blockers and 1 Arizona blocker in the box. So a 3-2 pack advantage for Arizona, which is making it pretty easy for Tornado Alley to do precisely as her name implies.
Alley races by along the outside. Rogue Rammer clinging to the coping, and I think the blocker tapped off, so the blocker comes, so Rogue Rammer gets to go on by. And Alley has to get up and call it off.
I'm pretty sure what we have right now is skaters shouting themselves out in the chat, which I do support. Hey, look at us with the clean penalty box. And that is Boomer up against Dolly Spartan. Boomer almost to the front end, breaks up, picks up lead for the Wildfires.
Dolly racing out for Arizona on the pursuit. Boomer is going to get back to the pack, flashing some hand signals to the blockers across the track. Racing up there, gets that back point and calls it off. We'll get 1 on the go, so that ought to be 2. We will double check.
That was 2 points for the Wildfires on that last one. And yet another penalty-free jam. Look at us.
Allison Thunderland with the running start like an arena football wide receiver as the whistle blows. Cherry Kiss for Arizona. And Cherry is going to find an opening first and get out. Alice is near the front. Cherry's sister Lightning is there to help close the door.
Alice almost in front, had just 1 left to go, but Mimi was there to reform. And Cherry picks up another 5, passes the pack. Still a 30 whole second. Has it really only been 30 seconds?
Yeah, and
Feels like an eternity.
we've had the star handed forward. Now it's Slamurai with the star fighting against that wall of Arizona defenders.
Yeah, that's Lightning, Mimi, and Ash.
So here comes Cherry Kiss, still 10 seconds to go. Slamurai's got the star on now and is going to square up to play some jammer defense, but Cherry's able to dodge the block and finish the scoring pass.
We've got Farrell and friend of the pod, Strange, on Arizona on the jam line.
We've got hold skaters off the track. I am looking at the penalties.
Yeah, looks like a potential jammer penalty.
So, jammer penalty on Arizona, and for the 3rd time this game, Arizona is going to challenge what appears to be challenging a jammer penalty, we would have to think. Right now, an arms penalty on Cherry. So, 3rd challenge of the game for Arizona. This is their 2nd half challenge. We'll find out if that is upheld or overturned.
Kingslayer, clock. 11-5-5.
So 11:55 to go here in the fourth quarter. 11:55 to go in regulation. Arizona putting 15 points on the board, but challenging that jammer penalty at the moment. Yeah, we did have several skaters shouting themselves out in the chat, so thank you.
Yes. But
Good to know that Cherry Noble and BF Skinya both said that their favorite skaters, respectively, are Cherry Noble and BF Skinya. Thank you so much.
yes. Alan, I let you with. I really appreciate when you get the highly specific compliments that you can only get from another very skilled skater. Alan, I let you complimenting Ash on their stability and footwork. I will also say I was sitting with Ash in the stands for one of the other games. Also, just a delightful person to be around. Ash, a great crowd friend. Also, Night Mary, fantastic announcer. I've announced with Night Mary before. What a time.
Yes, I have always, Mary has announced with me many times, like going back to when she was like 15 years old, and has always been a delight to announce with. Just, we'll sit there and like, she really is like, both Night Mary and Al Annihilate You. When I announce with both of them, you can just like, kind of like, I'll sit there and I'll be like, so, Mary, that thing that just happened, you want to tell me the insider, like, you know,
Yeah.
Al, they'll do the same thing with Al. Hey, Al,
Yes.
hey, you want to give me the insider breakdown of that thing?
Yes.
And then I've got like 5 minutes to just relax.
Yep, yeah.
Sip soda,
Just
check
read
the
me
chat.
the text
And
back
they're
on
over
what
there,
just happened.
Well,
Yep.
Clifton, here's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing. So here's exactly chapter 1. Here, and it really honestly is, but announcing with them is such a delight because like they're such, both of them together, honestly, the two of them are like Derby encyclopedias when they're up there announcing, and really it's like they give such great insights. It's really fun with both of them.
We've also got, I believe that is Kim Kong's partner, Mr. Kong. So proud of Slam Diego and Kim Kong. Challenge lost. Challenge lost. So that arms penalty on Cherry Kiss is going to be upheld. So Arizona will lose their challenge for the remainder of the half. And this will be a power jam for the Slam Diego Wildfires.
Looks like it's going to be Rogue Rammer, unsurprisingly. One blocker for each side also in the penalty box.
The only question that remains is, will Rogue Rammer yell at me before she starts playing or not? Yell at me.
Rogue Rammer on the jammer line, communicating with the announcer nest as we're ready to go, and the power jam is underway.
Off they go. Oh, that
Quick back.
pack is zooming. Rogue trying to slide around, do a little flippy on the inside, but doesn't quite make it. Gonna try it again. They are ready for it though. And on the third time's the charm. Breaks out, picks up lead, still with over 30 seconds left. Plenty of time.
Slam Diego's got the goat this time at the back of the pack. They've got Murder Mittens pinned, trying to keep the pace of play slow. However, while blocking, Murder Mittens does shake loose and get back to the front. So now Rogue is going to try to take advantage of a staggered pack. One blocker down. Rogue!
Oh, almost made it through. Antifa was there at the last second, but it was a no pass, no penalty. And that's all 5 points on the board for Rogue Rammer.
3 seconds to go on the jam. Rogue is up there again, is going to get hips in front of at least a couple of people.
As I say, I think I saw at least hips past one hips, which would be that point and the ghost point. We'll see what the refs saw.
There we are. 8 points for Slam Diego. Takes him up to 50 for the bout. 230 to 50. All right, we were watching that discussion go on. My mouth hanging slack up here as I'm just watching the referees talk, and then I realize I'm probably on camera.
Yeah, well.
Farrell Fawcett for
away.
Slam Diego. Princess Leia for Arizona. That pack has 2 people missing from it. One for each side.
Yes.
Discussion continuing down there between Maraschino Jerry. The penalty trackers are talking now. That's important.
Yeah, I see 2 in the box, 2 blockers in the box for Arizona, 1 for Slam Diego. But it looks like there's so there's 2 people on the board, but only 1 in the box right now. There it is. Nope. I sense an OTO in our future.
I would say you're leaning probably correctly at this point.
The penalty box,
There
the
we
penalty
go,
tracker
yes.
says 2 blocker. Yep, there it is.
So as it stands right now, we've got 2 penalties on Murder Mittens, and we've got 1 penalty on, there is no 64 on blue, so it must be 68, I'm going to guess. And then that is a 1 penalty on Farrell Fawcett. No, Hetty Lascar, sorry.
It
802,
is,
805.
yeah, it is confusing. Yeah, 802 versus 805.
So that's what we're looking at right now. We will let the officials discuss this and figure out who should be in the penalty box. Troy McClure is hanging around the penalty box. He doesn't have a challenge to use, so can't really do much about it, honestly. Al Annihilate just says Lightning and Al have a whole thing about catching people slack-jawed. We'll ask her about it at the after party, by golly.
Aha, so it looks like, in fact, the there is only 1 blocker in the box for both teams. So we're just
Yeah.
going to have a 3-3 pack, no pack advantage for anybody.
Second skater penalty was wiped off the board after discussion by the officials. No challenge necessary. Same jammers.
Yeah, that's Farrell Fawcett and Princess Leia. Leia trying for the high, Farrell trying for straight through the middle. Nobody has found it yet. Ooh, Farrell almost through, and Princess Leia finds it ultimately, picks up lead for Arizona. Sort of a one-on-one here, Farrell versus Mimi in the front. But again, Arizona with that reform capacity is just so on it. Princess Leia now back in the pack and picking up points.
19 seconds to go on the jam. Farrell takes the star off, although the pivot is not up there with her. She is looking for help. Now gets a blocker to run forward. Sleia dispenses with Valkyr at the back of the pack and finishes the scoring pass. Farrell takes a tumble over Ash Smasham, and the clock will expire. All right, so 5 points for Arizona. That is Allison Thunderland on the jammer line. Stomp on the track.
It's a call and response,
Everybody's
yeah.
Amelia Bearhart.
Yes.
Everybody is Amelia Bearhart. And the jammer for Arizona is Strange.
Yes. Friend of the pod, Strange. Definitely a friend of many a Slam Diego skater. One of our favorites, frankly. And off we go. Alice almost through, and so close, almost, and there you go, breaks out, picks up lead for the Wildfires.
Strange is finally able to outrun Snips and gets out as well, about the length of the front stretch behind. So here comes Alice to get points for Slam Diego. Runs up into that back wall, frantically calls it off, trying to keep herself from becoming a point.
1 point for the Wildfires. 2 points. 2 points for the Wildfires. Let's see what that.
And a
let's see what
jammer
that
penalty.
whiteboard
I heard
says.
Alice
was gonna
were in the
say.
box. So Alice heads to the penalty box. It'll be a power jam for Arizona with Tornado Alley.
Alan Ellie is it's saying, I tell the juniors all the time, we don't need to practice jumping that much. You'll do it when you need to. I tend to tell the skaters, please jump more. It's the most entertaining part of Derby. So
It's so cool.
gonna have to take opposite sides on the jumping issue. Granted, Al, a very experienced skater, me, just an announcer. But anyway, Allie is through, picks up lead for Arizona. Establishes lead, I should say, because obviously it is a power jam.
Up to the high side.
Arizona tried to catch Rogue as a goat, which ambitious goal. They do now have two. They've got Kier and Hetty in the back there. I think preparing to play a little bit of defense here.
Good blocking
Pinning
at the
Allie
back.
to the rail.
Yeah, great blocking at the back of the pack by those two blockers. Slowing this scoring pass up for Allie and eliminating the possibility of a third, as there is not enough time for Allie to get all the way back around to the track. So we will check from the infield. Arizona's not, there we go, I was going to say. Wasn't sure. There I was going to say, I thought I heard of That's Your Jammer. This is going to be a reflexive power jam the other way. Malaboomer.
The old power jam do-si-do, a little switcheroo.
That was a cut track on Tornado Alley. But we're going to have a stoppage in play before we get to this. So 6:15 to go in regulation. The Kingslayer says, team timeout, Slam Diego. Slam Diego is going to talk about this power jam before they get it started and see if they can hang some points on the board, I am sure. Malaboomer talking with, like literally, the 5 people that are going to be on the track are just in a cluster talking strategy at the moment. Seems pretty obvious.
Makes sense.
6:25 to go in regulation is what we've got. As we said a couple of times here in the arena, the after party is at Route 2 Tap Room. It's about a 5-minute drive from here. Join us over there. Talk to your favorite skaters.
And again, I said this the other day, this is a pretty unique situation because usually when we come to Arizona, all of Slam Diego has to drive back immediately after the last championships. We're in Washington. We all have a flight tomorrow, so Slam Diego will actually be able to make the after party this time around.
I'm going to go to the after party.
Yes.
I'll be terrified. Large social gatherings make me terrified. And then people are like, but you're a roller derby announcer. I'm like, oh, yeah, I can talk at people all day long. Talk to people? I can't talk to a... Dolly calls it off. Boomer was stalking. I sense a first-time jammer for Slam Diego, but I don't think that Slam Diego gets... Nope, never mind. I sense incorrectly.
It's because we've got a power jam. Dolly Spartan is in the penalty box.
There we go.
Which means this is a power jam for the Wildfires.
Boomer right back out there to do it again. That was just a warm-up lap. Boomer's going to give this a shot. As we've got 5:42 to go in regulation, Jam 49 is underway.
Boomer's birthday was yesterday. Let's see if that birthday magic is still in effect.
Driven up into the wall by 2 blockers, Cherry Kiss and Ash Smasher.
Yep. And there you go. Still with almost 40 seconds left. Plenty of time.
Arizona gets Mimi Mahler pinned at the back of the pack, so they've got the goad. Mimi's going to try to break it. We'll see if those front blockers are going to be out of play now. Here comes San Diego trying to clear some space for Malaboomer. 18 seconds left on the jam clock. So Boomer is just working on getting all 5 of these points safe and secure at this point. Not enough time to get around for a second pass. Making sure that she gets those hips in front of everybody before the whistle blows.
Yep, just gotta throw the old point getter as far as you can.
Got 4 of the 5, did Malaboomer. So 4 more points.
80%. It's a solid B.
We've got 1 blocker headed down for Arizona, 1 late penalty rattling in.
2 for Slam Diego, so it's going to be a thin pack. We got a 3-2 pack advantage, looks like, for Arizona.
Nightmare for Arizona, Allison Thunderland for Slam Diego.
Nightmare finding that upper rail nice and easy. Alice really trying to get around Strange. Strange really trying to keep Alice from getting around. And Nightmare's already back, ready to pick up some points. And there we go, that's 5 on the board.
Alice has star in hand and is going to get it to Hetty, and Hetty is going to shake off a couple of blockers and get through the pack.
That is a star pass to Hetty Lascar.
So here comes Mary to finish her scoring pass and calls it off. It's a good star pass by Slam Diego to force the call off. Just 9 for Arizona that time. 2:54 to 56 is your score. Be about 3 minutes to go in regulation when this jam starts. That is Princess Leia for Arizona.
That is Farrell Fawcett for Slam Diego. I think I heard the Arizona pad chatting about Farrell. She is so pretty. She is so pretty. My favorite fun fact about Farrell is that she is, based on the way that she skates, you would never guess that she is new to the sport. Farrell is extremely new to the sport. This is Farrell's first battle. This was Farrell's first season. Here's the key. Farrell was an extremely accomplished skate park skater and was recruited from the skate park for bang track, and it turns out that those skills transfer really, really nicely to bang track roller derby. But it makes her she's an incredibly fast skater and also incredibly dexterous and so fun to watch.
We had word from the chat about Rogue Rammer. Somebody in the chat told us that Rogue Rammer will sometimes cut the crust off sandwiches and then just eat the crust.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true.
It's not. It's Steven is in the chat spreading lies. He was over there a second ago. He's one of the few people who has taken my advice that you should be in the chat. It makes the game so much more fun to be in the chat, spreading rumors and slander. And nobody ever takes me up on it.
We've got discussion now continuing. This was an OTO. It is still an OTO, but now discussion going on with the coaches, and there's being some penalties being assessed.
Oh, I think it started out as an OTO and is now a team timeout for Arizona.
Ah.
Kingslayer emphatically nodding.
So we are on now an Arizona team timeout, so Arizona's only got one timeout remaining.
I want to shout out the officials. This has been such a communicative, easy to work with, friendly, fun officials team. Also just the tournament front to back has been such a lovely
The hospitality
experience.
has been great. Like anybody, the number of people that have said, "Can I get you anything?" has been. It's been like walking through an Ace Hardware store.
Yeah,
it's like seriously.
It really has. That is a one-for-one vibe.
The number of people that have offered me help here in the arena this weekend, honestly, has been.
We have to shout out Tilted Thunder.
Thank you so much.
As our hosts have been unbelievable. I do also think though. I think it's been Tilted Thunder, unbelievable. Also, I have to say, I think Sunshine City being here has fundamentally revolutionized the vibes at Battle on the Bay. Truly, what a lovely... It is always great to have a new team at Battle on the Bay, but, I mean, you never know. We could have gotten a bummer team and been like, yeah, sure. Like, it's nice it's nice to have another team, I guess, but they're not that great.
Gosh.
Sunshine City has just a freaking delight, top to bottom, every interaction I've had, always in the stands, always cheering, always bringing the vibe, like, just great.
We needed an Eastern time zone team just to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we definitely needed to get some East Coast love going on.
I have never felt this positive about the state of Florida before. I'm so pro Florida right now.
All right, discussion continuing to continue. This did turn into a team timeout for Arizona, but it looks like Arizona's going to...
I think we're ready.
Yes. All right, so we'll check the board.
I do think it's going to be a power jam for Arizona. I see Hetty.
There's two people sitting in the box, but the penalty board only has one penalty on it still.
Right.
So.
Much to consider, much to ask questions about.
Like, we are actively working on getting that squared away in the moment, obviously. That's what they're working on.
Oh, this is so fun. We have somebody in the chat who is a trainee NSO from the UK, where they all play flat track, has no idea what's going on, but we all seem lovely. Oh my gosh, how fun! Okay, so real quick, since this timeout is going on forever, on bank track, the jams are only 1 minute. The lead can change, so when the lead jammer gets out, the other jammer, if the jammer gets in front of them, they become the lead jammer. Penalties are served the next jam around. They don't get pulled off the track. They sit the whole next jam. That's
Yeah.
basically the gist of it.
No stopping, no backwards.
No stopping, no backwards. That's kind of, those are the big ones.
Yeah. Using the rail as leverage, Slaya finishing off that scoring pass. 35 seconds to go on the power jam. Now up to the pack, and Slaya weaves through, able to get past Rogrammer. Rogrammer definitely trying to get that block and turn Slaya down to the infield, but Slaya just had enough room to get by.
Yeah, no matter what you do, one-on-one derby is a difficult thing to play.
And going to be able to finish that pass as well. Arizona just kind of standing up, not really contacting anybody, but definitely staggered in such a way as to keep that pack nice and spread out. So that was 3 full scoring passes for Princess Slaya and 15 for Arizona.
Oh, well. That is Cataclysmic Kate on the jam line for the very first time for San Diego this game, up against Dolly Spartan for Arizona. Okay, this one is actually true. This fun fact of the track, actual fun fact, Dr. Slip Naughty PhD can imitate an AI cat dance like you would believe. That is true. Anyway, Dolly Spartan out of the pack, picks up lead for Arizona.
Cataclysmic Kate is pinned up against that 3 wall, trying to fight through, kind of turns into a triad, gets tripped up, however, and knocked down. So here comes Dolly on that Arizona scoring pass and completes it. Cataclysmic Kate is just kind of like pushing blockers out of the way, now trying to get past that last one.
Yeah, just up against Antifa. And almost through, just one more to go, and not quite yet. So close.
And the one-on-one derby, excellent work by Nightmare at the front. Now those blockers out of play, and Kate gets to go on by. Dolly Spartan finishing off a scoring pass, and will get on the pursuit.
Yeah, I got to try to pick up that jammer point for sure. Successfully.
Dolly grabs that jammer point and then calls it off. We've got time for one more jam. Thank you.
That is Cherry Kiss and Road Rammer on the jam line. 1 in the box for Arizona.
Ended up being all 3 scoring passes on that one, so another 15 for Arizona. Everybody's squaring away and setting up. Regulation clock has reached 0, so this could be it except for penalty jams. Let's find out.
And Rogue is through, picks up lead for San Diego. Cherry Kiss is hot on her heels.
And Rogue doesn't want to give it up. Rogue is going to try to get back. Then eventually Cherry swung to the outside and got the high line, and Rogue did have to call it off. So that brings us
to the
end of the regulation clock. Now penalty jams. If the team that's ahead gets a penalty,
yes, we have
and the
to
team
wait.
that's behind doesn't get any,
Yes,
then
for
we'll find
our
out.
UK friend,
Right.
that is one of the differences in bank. There could be a penalty jam if the team that is behind.
That is
that's not the case.
going to happen. And with that final whistle, it is official. Arizona is your 3-time defending national champions at Battle on the Bank 15.
Come on down, get your high fives, and give it up for the Hot Shots! 3 years in a row. They simply can't be stopped.
And the fans are down there keeping it going for the Slam Diego Wildfires.
Fantastic game by both teams. Fantastic tournament by all 6 teams. Thank you so much to Tilted Thunder. Thank you to our officials, our volunteers, our vendors. We appreciate all of you. Thank you to everyone who came out. Thank you to everyone in the chat. We appreciate you all. We will be back very soon for the award ceremony.
Yes.
I'm going to correct something you said earlier.
What
You
did I
said
say?
that last call must
Oh, yeah,
be during
I
this
corrected
game.
that. I
No,
corrected that.
yes,
Beer
last
garden's
call will
still
not be
open.
last call. The beer garden will be open through the award ceremony.
Beer must stay in the beer garden still, but the beer
Yes,
garden remains
but
open.
if you want to go get yourself a little drinky drink before the awards, you may feel free to do so. We will be back here in just a little bit
Thank you.
to hand out that trophy.